Hi everyone, my name's Matt. Welcome to Starflight Creations, my channel where I talk about my cross stitching. And today I am doing my update for 3 weeks of April that we've been in so far. Once again, I'm sorry for not coming back at the 2 week mark like I wanted to. I go to a retreat tomorrow, so I've been trying to work on that, get ready. It's going to be my first in-person retreat, so I've kind of jumped in on all the things, and so I not only did not get as much stitching as I wanted, which is why I didn't do last week, because I just didn't feel like there was enough to show, and I was taking the time to work on getting my project bags that I was making for table gifts ready for everyone. So but I am proud to say that I now have all of the table gifts ready. So and I did manage to get some stitching in, so we will talk about that. So first off is my finish. So last time I was here, I showed you the golden frog that I was doing by Nadisa Gavrilikova, which I was doing for the Leap into Spring Sal, hosted by Jason X Stitches and Michael from Uplift Stitches here on YouTube. And unfortunately, I didn't have a photo of what it looked like last time I showed it to you. But here it is, not only finished, but fully finished. I did the standard thing that I always do, finish it and then immediately give it away to someone else. So then I had to go and ask them to send me a photo of it because I still wanted to show you guys. But mainly what I did was just add in that green flower. I'd had all the frog and the ground beneath it all done, so I just finished up that flower, which was 98 stitches. And then the next and the main project that I've been working on lately is my nostalgic tarot card frame. And well, it's no longer just a frame anymore because it's the frame and all of the cards by the Witchy Stitcher. I'm stitching this on a 16 count Ada that I hand dyed black and then hand painted with golden paint to give a out of space feel. So this is where it was the last time you saw it. So I have put in 1,035 stitches, bringing it up to 4,339 stitches. I have 111,116 stitches, which is 3.9%. And so here is it. So mainly I was using this as my project for Whip into Shape for the Marathon Challenge, now the Walking Challenge by Andrew the Runner Stitcher. And so since the last time you saw it, I finished up this border, and then I started adding all the extra ones in here, finished the rainbow and the little paintbrush. I've been kind of grabbing like a color at the top and working its way down. So now I am right into these ears. I've got like one more color, and then I'll be down to all of here except for the black. I kind of was going back and forth on whether or not I was going to stitch the black or just leave the black as an empty space. And what I have decided is that I'm going to do some satin stitches with DMC Satin 310 and see if that's reflective enough, if it feels different from the black fabric. But I've got that on order. unfortunately I don't think it will arrive before I go to the retreat, so it will have to go in after it. Um, but so yeah, so I'm just trying to do what I can without the black and get it down. Also, since the designer for the retreat is the Witchy Stitcher, and a bunch of the people there are in her Patreon, so they've been working on this one a lot longer than I have, because they were working on it when she was just releasing it to the Patreon. So they've got all of the cards done. So they're going to be there to take a photo with all of the things. So I've been trying to get mine as far as I can, so when they're taking a photo it looks well, at least like there's something there. And so I'm really proud of the progress I've made. I wanted to have the entirety of the first card done. That's not going to happen, but I did get a good amount of progress in on that, so I was really happy with that. And I am really proud to say that I am caught up to where Andrew's latest run. I did go in and check this morning to make sure he didn't add another one, to make sure I was still caught up. And I am actually now 109 stitches ahead, which is good, because while I'm at the retreat he should upload the next one, and I'm sure then I will drop behind, because I am sure he won't just do 1 mile. So I'll look forward to catching back up on that when I get back. And I also use this one for my project that I was doing in Wanderlust, which is a Discord stitching game put on by Natasha. And thank you for everybody who sent out good vibes and reminder messages to take photos. I am proud to say I actually took my freaking photos this time, and I got my first passport stamp for New Zealand. And then I was just going to move into Australia, because I was like, oh, it's got the biggest one of the Oceania continent, so that'll take me a while. But it was only a medium, so it was only 500 more stitches than all of the other ones. And then they had a spin the wheel for the continent, and I decided to do that instead. So I got Nauru, so I will be stitching in that. So now I have about I'd say 800 stitches into that of the 2,500, so I'll be in that for a little bit. But I am hoping that while I'm at the retreat to get a bunch of stitching in and be taking my photos, and potentially get 1 or 2 loose stamps while I'm there. So once again, I just would like to thank everybody for helping me remember to take those photos, so I'm not only caught up on whipping the shape, but also use that for Wanderlust. And then the next one I was doing was one that I had pulled out. It was one of the last things that I spun for my Stitcher game, Dark Throne Keep, and I decided to pull it out just because it was kind of a newer project and I wanted to get it to at least 500 stitches on it, and it was small, so I could take it to work and work on it during breaks. So I just kept working on it, which is the piece I am doing for my friend's wedding. It's on a 14 count white Ada. And so this is where I've got it so far. I did put in 351 stitches, which actually I put in more than that, because I had it down to just like the last time you saw it. Unfortunately, I don't have a photo of it. It was just this arm, and then I started putting into the chest, and I discovered that I had miscounted somewhere, and so it was a lot wider than it should have been. And if it was just the witch itself, I wouldn't have cared. I would have just been like, it's a thick witch. My friend wouldn't have cared. She would have found that great. But since there's the boom and everything there, and since the last time I tried to do this, because this is a restart, the counting, the proportions of what got completely destroyed, and so that's why I ended up having to restart it. I decided not to fudge it, so I went back and pulled all of those out, which was like probably about 100 stitches, and then went in and re-put them back in. But I did also then get the head all put in, and down started putting in the broom. So yeah, so I put in 351 stitches, bringing it up to 574 of 3,388, which is now at 16.1%. So it is over the 500 marker. I'm not sure if this one will be put away or if I'll keep it out just because it is a small one that I can take to work and work on at breaks. But when this one went away, I did end up pulling out my next one, which is one of the pieces that got called for WhipGo back in March. So WhipGo is a game created by Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on YouTube, and she has a Flosstube channel. And so it's like a bingo board where every month she will draw 2 numbers, and then you work on the projects that you assign them. But I decided to do a new start just because I didn't have enough to really make it worthwhile to put a bunch of progress in that ways. And I just had a lot of projects in stash without really a desire or a good idea of when I wanted to start them. So this was one of them. It is E for elephant. And so I went in and got started on that this time. And so I have put in 156 stitches into this. It is on a 14 count Ada that I hand dyed. It is by the Tiny Modernist. I thought it was a Biscornu, but instead it's a Stitchy Box collection. And so I've only got like 2 or 3 days in this last week work on this at work during breaks. So I am going to take this with me on the airplane on the way to retreat tomorrow and get a bunch of stitches there, and I'm hoping to have this be my retreat finish. So that will be fun. Yeah, so if I can get my 500 stitches into that, then I will have my second WhipGo goal completed. And then I've got like, let's see, 2, 4, 6. So there's 9 numbers that have been called so far. I've only completed 1 so far. So if I can complete that one, that will drop me down. So I'll have 2 out of 7. 2 completed and 7 left. But then one of those is the extra one that was drawn for a 13. I do have a 13, but I don't have the number 25. So I'm thinking that I might just take one of those and hold it for later. Whenever the number 25 is actually drawn. But I don't know, I'm still working on that. But one of the things that I am looking to do is when I come back from the retreat, because I'm kind of got a limited amount of space of what I'm taking to the retreat, I've put a lot of the ones for the WhipGo on hold. And so then when I come back from the retreat, I really plan to jump in there and get started on those and get them the 500 stitches because I'll have 4 days when I get back from the retreat off before I have to go back to work. So I'm hoping to maybe knock out another 1 or 2 of those before May when I go back to work. Last time I did forget to show a couple pieces of haul. So for the St. Patrick's Day sale for Heaven Earth Designs, one of the new artists, Yasu Art Studio, I really am loving his designs. And so they had a couple of them that they'd released 1 week, and then the next week, and then the week after that it was the St. Patrick's Day sale, so I went ahead and bought them. And the first one is Girl with Dragon, which I just loved the way it looked, and you know, the whole saddle seat just looked amazing. And then Mermaid Portal. So once again, I don't know exactly when I will start this, especially since I have 2 Yasu Art Studios already started, or at least looking to start immediately. So I don't know exactly when these ones will get on, but I just couldn't resist taking the chance to buy them while they were there. And that is all of the stitching that I've done so far. So I did 1,640 stitches in the 3 weeks, which is not as much as I was really hoping to get. But I also did make 7 project bags, 4 portfolios, 4 people I knew, and then 1 extra portfolio. So I did get a lot of sewing done, which was fun to kind of experiment more with sewing and kind of learn how to use my machine. So plans. So I have the retreat, the Children of the Thread retreat, which I head off to tomorrow. So while I'm there, I'm going to do short daily videos where I'll do a video that will have what I plan to work on in the morning and show you where I'm at, and then I'll come back in the evening after I'm done and tell you anything news I have from the day, and then show you my progress. So I'm hoping to have 3 smaller videos showing the daily stitches of the retreat. I'm really excited to do my first in-person retreat, so if you haven't been to an in-person cross-stitching retreat, or you're just interested to see the viewpoint of someone who's a complete novice to this, feel free to tune into those. And then I'll be back in May with my regular Flosstube. And then while I'm at the retreat, the Museum After Midnight Sal by Lola Crow will drop on the 24th. So I did dye my fabric for that. She recommends a light gray marble, so I just went ahead and dyed my own. And so that's not really coming out. I mean, that just looks, there we go, that's a little bit better. So I got that, and kind of really excited to start that, because the frame will drop. So really excited to get started on that, and I'm hoping to stay caught up. If I do, it will be the first Sal I actually stay caught up on, but I'm going to give it my best. And then in May, who was it? I think it was Andrew the Run-A-Stitcher was saying that for May he's doing May Mania, where he's going to rotate through all of his projects. And Crafty Gaming Jamie kind of did something not too long ago really kind of the same, and so I think that's what I'm going to do for May is kind of take a break from my other stitching games and just do 500 stitches on all of my projects and just kind of rotate through. I'm either gonna do like a wheel, or I was thinking like maybe do oldest to newest, so I don't know. If you have a project in mind that you would really like to see me work on, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I can always start with that one and then spin the wheel for any ones after that. And the other thing that I may do is one of my whip goes is The Summer by Autumn Lane Studios. So I did dye fabric to use for that, and so I may start that at the retreat just because right now Jason Next Stitches is doing his halfway to Halloween sale, and just the spookiness of the vibe seemed to match with the retreat, and so I thought it might be a good one to start while I'm there. So the projects that I am taking to the retreat are obviously the Nostalgic Tarot Frame by the Witchy Stitcher, the Summoner by Autumn Lane Studios, the fabric that I've got for the Museum After Midnight sale that will drop while I'm there, The Common Room by Elena Lartsova, and Wandering in Middle Earth sal, and then my Ears for Elephant. Oh, and just as a FYI, last time I said that I thought the Common Room or Living Rooms by series by Elena Lartsova was completely pulled down because I didn't see it anywhere on the My Bobbin site where I bought it. I did, while I was on Facebook one day, see an ad for Painting Fairy Cross Stitch. It did have like a stamped cross stitch for them. So if you are looking for that pattern, look onto Painting Fairy Cross Stitch. It looks like they've got them, at least currently. I can't guarantee how long they'll be there, or whether or not they'll only have them as stamped and not the pattern. So I just saw that and wanted to let you know in case anybody was curious. And I think that is everything. So once again, thank you everybody for reminders to take my pictures. It was really helpful, and I look forward to doing the videos of the retreat and at the retreat and seeing what kind of progress I can get done on these next 3 days of what should be a lot of fun stitching among other stitchers. And then I'll be back on the 1st with my regular Flosstube, and we can get started on Main Mania. And until then, have a good day.